Ladies and gentlemen, 47-0, TBE, none other than the man himself, Mayweather.
Come on, bro.
You gotta have Coca-Cola for one buff. Check the punch dash first. First off, I want to thank everybody that came out for this event. You guys are truly amazing. Because without the fans, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. We had a remarkable training camp, what else can I say? Maidana is a tough competitor. Rugged guy. Extremely dirty, but he's rugged. The saga continues. There's a lot of great fighters out there. You know, I take my hat out to all the up-and-coming fighters and all the guys that's out there competing. Congratulations to my new champion. You know, my boy's a little hoarse. You know, when you fight 12 grueling rounds, you know, your voice can go hoarse. But you guys were remarkable. You know, I didn't do it by myself. I had a brilliant game plan, a brilliant team, and we gave the fans what they wanted to see tonight. And even in the 12th round, you know, Mickey Bay, one time he was in a big fight, one fight away from the championship fight. He went out there, of course we want to please the fans, but he went out there. He won 11 rounds and went out there and fought toe-to-toe and got knocked out. And I told him, you have to be smart. The smart fighters, you last a long, long time being extremely smart. If I know I had to fight one and in the bag, why would I go out there and fight toe-to-toe in the 12th round? I'm not trying to mess my legacy up. You know, to get this sport over 30 years, didn't mess my legacy up, I just can't do it, you know. But social media, you know, thank you. All the fans that's on shots, my app, you gotta go get shots, of course. Everyone that's on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, that's following me. I think it's a total of 16 million. I appreciate everybody, but like I said, everything was great. You know, I couldn't do it without you guys. And I'm pretty sure you guys got some questions. I know everybody want to know what happened in the 8th round. Well, basically, this is what happened in the 8th round. We clinched, we came together. My hand was under him, and he bit my 3 fingers. So in the 8th round, my 3 fingers went numb. I couldn't feel my fingers no more throughout the fight. And my middle finger busted open through the glove when he bit me. So, you know, those type of things happen, but the fight had to go on, so that's what it was.
Was there a mark on the glove, Floyd? Did he, you know, break?
No, at first, when he first bit me, he acted like he didn't do it. Then he come back and said that I put my hand in his mouth. Put my hand in his mouth, he bit me. But, you know, it's part of the sport, I guess. Like I said before, I think he need to move over to MMA. Because he's extremely dirty, he tackled me. I mean, but it is what it is.
Floyd, you've seen, you know, by my estimation, fairly subdued this week, and even tonight. You don't seem like your normal joyous self after a big win. Has it been a rough week for you? Is it getting tough to promote these fights? You know, all the work that goes into it.
Oh, I mean, people think that it's just you train and you just fight. It don't work like that when you're at the pinnacle. It's something totally different. You know, you have to we go from city to city, state to state. Sometimes we go out the country to promote an event of this magnitude. And you know, as far as when I do the commercials, I got to read, you know, 70 teleprompters. I mean, it takes a lot. It takes a lot, but this is what I chose to do, so it is what it is.
I mean, that hasn't been apparent that has bothered you in the past. I mean, why now? Is it just the accumulation kind of making you get worn down?
Well, just being in the sport 18 years. You know, boxing is wear and tear on your body, of course. You know, it's a grueling sport. But, you know, like I said, you know, it's another fight, another victory, and it's time to move on.
Two other questions for you, Floyd. You said in the ring you rated yourself a C-. You know, you landed 51% of your punches and kept him to 22%. What was it that you weren't happy with?
I know I felt a lot better this training camp, but I felt like I was better in the first fight than this fight. But I think my defense was a lot better, and my legs was a lot better. And you know, my dad gave me the game plan. He said, you know, when I come back to the corner, I know when I'm doing a good job, because, well, actually, in the 11th round, because I can remember, you know, I got a sharp mind. My dad was like, in the 11th round, I want you to be sharp, just be on your toes and move. Box and be smart. He said, now in the 12th round, that's when I want you to bite down and throw a lot of combinations and make it look good. But I said, I did it the other way. I flipped it around. I said, I'm going to box in the 11th and then move in the 12th, because I knew he was going to be desperate by the time we reached the 12th round. And if you go back and look, hit him two body shots. The shot wasn't low. He knew the shot wasn't low, but he kept being extremely dirty to buy time. You know, I know that with experience. If you do dirty stuff, you can buy time if you're getting fatigued, and that's what he did.
He seemed to, I have two more questions now. He seemed to punch when you were punching. Was that causing you trouble? Because it seems like that, you know, when he was doing that, maybe he was landing some punches.
Real awkward style. No, let him back. No, sir, excuse me. No, give it back to him. Give it back to him. Give it back to him. That's my guy.
Richard, can you finish that?
Run it by me again.
Well, the other question I want to ask you was, you surprised everybody by mentioning Pacquiao in the ring. Why did you do that? You've never done that before that I can remember.
Well, if you guys don't know, they asked me the question about Pacquiao. And what I said is, we don't know what the future holds for Floyd Mayweather as of right now. I think, you know, even in the past, when I look at the Pacquiao situation when he fought Marquez, you know, I think he was too focused on Floyd Mayweather instead of focusing on the guy that was in front of him, and then you guys seen what happened. So, I don't take nothing away from him.
Yes or no, is it realistic?
Say it again?
Is it realistic?
What's realistic is I'm 47 and 0.
Floyd, right in front. Congratulations. To follow up a little bit on what Kevin was asking about with regard to Manny Pacquiao, in your mind, what would it take to actually make the fight?
As of right now, you know, hey Rich, how you doing? As of right now, I want to enjoy my time off. We don't know who we're going to be fighting today. You know, we don't know what particular opponent. We're not in a rush, because once again, we're the A side. We're always going to be the A side. And we take our time. That's how we got to where we got to. Me and Leonard, we've been working together 18 years. I'm pretty sure me, Leonard, and Al, and we'll come up with a brilliant game plan. And we're not sure what the game plan is.
Is part of the game plan, regardless of who the opponent is going to be, your plan? Leonard said it, but you're the boss here. He says you will fight again this coming May, and then again in September, but mainly your next fight in May. Is that what you're hoping on?
Yeah, I'll probably fight in May. I may not fight again until September. It all depends on, how I feel. I may fight again in September. I don't think Showtime and CBS is rushing me. I think we're doing good numbers. Steve, when we going again? When we going again? Yeah. And we had a good training camp. And a lot of times you hear certain things about certain people. Alex Ariza, I had a chance to really meet. I've never met Alex Ariza. So we had a chance to meet in this training camp, and basically he came to my training camp and he showed me different stretches, and which helped. And also told me, he told me basically what I should be eating today and yesterday. And so Alex Reese is a real cool guy. A lot of times, I said things about Alex in the past, and he said things about me, but I never knew about Alex Reese. And one thing I can honestly say, he's never came to me in a bad way. He's always been a pretty cool guy when he came to training.
Floyd, can you talk for a minute about your decision to take the fight more to mid-ring than you did the first time when you were on the ropes a lot more?
Say it again?
Your decision to take this fight first to the middle of the ring right off the bat rather than fight off the ropes as much as you did the first fight.
Just being able to show the versatility, being able to change up, having experience. I've been in big fights like this for so many years, so I know what it takes. It's just I can make adjustments instantly, and I think that's one of the pluses on my side.
The mayhem, if you will, in the 8th round, where you got bit and your father's on the ring apron and you're yelling at Maidana and he's talking back to you. What did Kenny Bayless say to you during that time? And what's your perception of how he kind of handled this?
Kenny Bayless is a true professional. But what he said was, I can't see where you was bit at. I said, he bit me. I'm not just going to scream if he didn't bite me. And then Maidana go back and say, well, you put your hand in my mouth.
Did you follow Ariza's diet? What did he tell you to eat?
Really, come tell him. Come on up. I said, come on up. He don't really want to come up with a couple pounds.
What did he tell you to eat? Did you do what he said?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yesterday he said basically, because normally, yesterday I ate steak, potatoes. Then I had my chef come cook also, but I ate steak, potatoes, and vegetables after the weigh-in. But then after a certain time, he said that I don't need to be putting beef in my body. So I mean like oatmeal, not too much fruit because it'll cause diarrhea. And so, of course, we told him you want to be like granola and drinking fluids, more like water and Powerade, not the natural juices I'll be drinking. And I felt better. I felt good. I was able to move with my legs, even in the 12th round. At the age of 37.
Hey Floyd, now that congratulations. Now that you're at this point in your career, When you look at perhaps trying to get a Pacquiao fight done now, do you think that there are far less obstacles than there were all those years ago? Maybe the only obstacle being him needing to beat Algieri now?
I don't really ever think about Pacquiao. I don't even know him actually. But I wish him nothing but the best. That's not my focus. I got to where I got to. Staying focused on Floyd Mayweather. I can care less about what Pacquiao does. I don't wish nothing bad on the man. But my focus is Floyd Mayweather. That's how I got to where I got to. If I was focused on any other opponents and what they do, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So I try not to focus on no one else's business.
Do you feel like you're at the point in your career now where if you say, I want to fight Manny Pacquiao, it's going to get done?
Once again, I'm focused on Floyd Mayweather, I'm not focused on Pacquiao.
Well, that is you taking charge.
If it happens, it happens. I just had fought, a good, solid, strong competitor tonight, and you guys can keep asking the same questions over and over again. I'm gonna get the same answer. That's not my focus. My focus is I move when I want. I mean, you guys can all access. I mean, I move when I want to, and how I want to. And my business model is I'm my own boss. I call my own shots. I think if Manny Pacquiao took the same approach, then he would be where I'm at. So it's obvious he's not doing something right.
Congratulations, Floyd.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Just two questions. The first one is Amir Khan was in here earlier. He was working on the Showtime broadcast, and he said he thought he saw signs of aging in you tonight. I wonder if you could discuss that, and whether you are feeling your age. And secondly, would you consider, we had an 80,000 packed Wembley Stadium earlier in the year for Frocham Grove. Would you ever consider coming and fighting in the UK at Wembley Stadium?
Amir Khan, he's a solid, good competitor. He's a good fighter. We don't know who I'm fighting as of right now. We don't really know. I'm not rushing. If that fight happened to come my way, then we'll make it happen.
What about the signs of aging and you feeling that at all?
I feel good. I can't really say what age I felt. I felt like the winner. But Amir Khan's a good fighter, of course. I think when Amir Khan was an amateur, everybody was taking shots at Floyd Mayweather. I think when Amir Khan was an amateur, I was champion, and then when Amir Khan turned pro and he got knocked out, I was champion. And when Amir Khan got knocked out again, I was champion. And when he lost his belt again, I'm still champion and I'm still right here.
Hey Floyd, congratulations.
Thank you.
I think late in the third round, right before the bell, he caught you with a punch and seemed to knock you back a little bit. Were you hurt at all? Or just off balance? And how did you adjust from that?
He caught me with a good shot. It's not a shot I never felt before. He caught me with a good shot. But I'm in good shape. I'm built for this. But I think that when I went to his body, twice, when I slid over and dug him to the body with the left, he was buying time. And we was ready to press the attack. I was ready to press the attack once I hit him with that second body shot. Then he told the ref, well, I need time, because he hit me with a low blow. Hit him with a good shot, though. I don't take nothing away from him. Of course, he's a big puncher. I don't know what his record is exactly, but he got 30-some knockouts out of like 34 fights. So probably 32 knockouts, 31 knockouts. So he's a strong guy.
Floyd, thank you. Congratulations. Considering this question, your answer, comparing the two fights against Maidana, did you feel in any of the 24 rounds a good, solid shot about him?
Yeah, I mean, he's a strong guy.
Yeah, for example, today in the final, in the third round, maybe?
When he hit me with the shot, I felt it. I was like, okay, I've been here before. I know what it is. You know, suck it up, go back to the corner, come back, regroup, go out there and do what I'm supposed to do. That's a part of the fight game. You know. I mean, he's not gonna land them shots like that all night. Of course, he's gonna land one. But as he's coming in, he's catching shots also.
Also, you get the time to make a kind of joke in the end of the round when Maidana get the wrong way to the corner. You were sportman showing him, this is your corner. Was it,
I'm just entertained, having fun. I knew he was going to the wrong corner, so I'm just having fun, making everybody laugh. You know, you gotta have a little sense of humor. Oh yeah.
After the first fight, you said Cotto and Canelo hit you bit stronger than Maidana did. You still have the same appreciation, the same opinion?
There's a different type of strength. Maidana comes straight ahead. Cotto is just more physically stronger than Maidana, and Cotto punch harder than Maidana. But they both big punching, they both strong, but Cotto is all around a better fighter, but Maidana is more of a reckless fighter. Sure is it?
The tackle in the 10th round that ended up in the point deduction, you haven't been asked about that. Was that just frustration on his part? What were you seeing there?
He did it in the first fight. You know, this is not the first time this guy tackled me. He tackled me in the first fight. In the first fight, he tried to knee me ahead, but I mean, the list goes on and on. But like I said, I always find a way to win. When he bit my fingers in the 8th round, I came back to the corner and I told my father. Of course, you know, you always got somebody that works for the commission. The commission is in the corner listening because, you know, he got somebody from the commission in his corner. I have somebody from the commission in my corner. And what happened was my fingers went numb. I couldn't feel my fingers. So, and then my dad kind of got upset. You know, he like, hold on, I'm finna go over there and let them. I said, no, just relax, I got it. And then I said, wait, get through this, don't worry. I'll make sure I do what I'm supposed to do. He was just buying time because he was starting to get fatigued from the body shots. So, of course, like I said before, with experience, you know when the guy is trying to buy time.
Floyd, Ken Miller with the Sentinel newspaper. I had an opportunity to speak with Frank Robinson, who's here tonight watching you fight, a Hall of Fame baseball player, and ask him, what is it like to consistently be great? And what it is that you go through on a consistent basis to stay in every one of your fights, like Super Bowl level events? How do you sustain something like that without looking ahead or behind?
Well, what I do is, when I was younger, I used to read my articles. You know, I used to read about myself. When I used to be on the cover of a magazine, I used to look at the magazine and I read about myself. I got to a point where I blocked everything out. You know, I don't read. You know, I try to block everything out. When I was younger, any book that come out with me on the cover, or any book, you know, that talks about me, any article, you know, I'm reading the articles every day. What comes out, you know, I Google. what's going on today with me. But you know, once I got older and wiser, what's more important is, you know, my family and me building my promotion company, me taking that to the next level. Focus on different investments instead of, you know, I already know what I can do, so I ain't gotta read about myself because I know what I can do. You know, you just focus on different things outside the ring, not always focusing on my job. Because focusing on boxing all day, you can go crazy. So I leave my boxing in the boxing gym. And when I go home, I try to have a regular life, even though I can't go out, but I try. I want to thank everyone that came to Las Vegas. I want to thank everyone that covered the fight. I want to thank Showtime. I want to thank CBS, and of course, I have to thank the best hotel in the world, the MGM Grand, my All Access team, Maidana, Steven Espinosa, all the sponsors.
98.3.